guys, so I've met a lot of wrestlers in my day. You know, I've gone through, I'm gonna say almost the entire roster. But with that, you meet so many people, you're like, oh my god, that guy was really nice, or that girl was really nice, or like that guy was a jerk, or she was a jerk. You think about it sometimes, you're like, who's the nicest wrestler I've ever met? Well, that's what I'm gonna talk about. I haven't had that many bad experiences with wrestlers. Like, I probably have enough to make like a top 5 video like I am doing with this. But the top 5 nicest, honestly, doing this list was actually really hard to do because just about everyone has either been like really nice, or it's just been that standard, here's 15 seconds, say, hey, nice to meet you, hope you win on Sunday, or whatever. I don't even know who I want to give honorable mentions to because there's so many. I really don't know how to put these people in order because it's all a different experience with different people, so let's just go with it. But first, honorable mentions, Alicia Fox and Maria Kanellis. I had to lump them together because I felt like I couldn't really rank one over the other. So I met Alicia Fox one time. It was at a home garden expo fitness thingy. It was the year of WrestleMania 29. I was one of the first people in line. I was standing there, I was waiting for her, and she shows up, and you'll never guess what she actually gave me for standing in line and being like the 3rd or 4th person in line. She gave me this! Yeah, so Alicia Fox is the reason that this is a thing. I talked to Alicia Fox about how she got into wrestling, her modeling career, and all that kind of stuff. I was just really interested in what she had to say, and she was so nice. And along with her, Maria Kanellis. So I've met Maria twice. I love your theme song. I said that yesterday, but I'm saying it again. I love your theme song. Both times I met her, she's so nice. I was like, oh my god, why are you people so nice? But she did a signing in Ocean City, Maryland, I believe, and I think I was the only person that actually showed up. I was there like 30 minutes ahead of schedule. I was in like this restaurant where she was signing, and literally no one else was there. I was literally the only person that went to that thing. I guess it wasn't that heavily advertised, but dang, why was I the only person there? I talked to her about school and stuff, and she was in school at the time, and she was talking to me about that, and she was saying, become a wrestler, make sure you protect your head. I was like, bet. But overall, she was such a nice person. Then I went to a show that night, and it was actually the promotion that James Ellsworth was running. But I went there, and she remembered me, and then we talked again, and she was just so nice. Like, so now we're actually into the list. So number 5 is Daniel Bryan. So Daniel Bryan was the first ever wrestler I actually met in person, like at an autograph signing. It was in a Kmart in Baltimore, Maryland, and it was actually the day that he cashed in his Money in the Bank at TLC. But he didn't bring the Money in the Bank with him, which was such a disappointment. But I was like, I don't even know, maybe 9 or 10. It was 2011, so I was 11 actually. It was him and it was Kelly, and both of them were really nice. When I met him, he was so nice. I couldn't even remember what he said, but all I know is I was super nervous and he was just really talkative, and it made me feel like comfortable. I was super awkward when I was 11, alright? Just super awkward. I kind of looked like a milk dud. And then I met him again at Ringside Fest 2016 up in New York when I met Sasha and Bailey as well. I was telling him I was a vegetarian because at one point I was like, no to meat, and that lasted about 5 months. If you're a vegan and vegetarian, respect. He was telling me how it was so cool that you're a vegan and stuff, or a vegetarian and living in New York because there's so many options, and I was like, wait, no, I don't live here. I'm from DC. Then he started smiling really hard because he realized I actually drive from DC to New York just to meet this man. He was just so talkative and nice. I was like, I just want to hug you. But like, that would be awkward, but I just really wanted to hug him. Number 4 is Sheamus. Again, Sheamus is someone I actually met twice before. I think I met him when I was 11 or 12. It was also at the Washington DC like car show or something like that. It was the week of Elimination Chamber 2013, and oh, I was actually 13 then. Oh, he was going into the match. It was him, Ryback, and Cena versus The Shield. I was basically just asking him about how to become a wrestler and stuff, and I was like, dude, when you get in the ring, please bro kick Dean Ambrose. I think he did, so I called that spot. Then last year I met him again at a Cricket Wireless. It was one of those free signings, and I was wearing a Sami Zayn shirt, which I will show you right now. It was actually the day after he just lost to Sami Zayn on Raw, so I wore this to be like, ha ha, sucker. This is the shirt, and I was talking to him about it, and then I was talking about Apollo Crews and stuff. I was like, good luck, man. Then he was asking me like, am I a fan of Apollo? And I was like, yeah, but I like you more, because I was sucking up. The only thing I actually got signed was the shirt. He signed my Sami Zayn shirt. I will actually play that clip right now. And then a couple hours later, I go on Instagram. Guess who's on his Instagram? Me! I put like this collage of pictures that the woman was taking of me and Sheamus, and he liked it enough to put it on his Instagram. Next up is the Usos. So the Usos, I talked about them enough that you guys know that's my favorite tag team of all time. I've been a fan of them since day one. is H. That's supposed to be funny. But also I met them twice. One was actually at a furniture store in Richmond, Virginia, right before Monday Night Raw. I believe it was like the week or two before Battleground 2014. But I actually went there with Uso paint on my face because I was gonna stand out. And this is a picture of the day before I did that, and I was testing out to make sure, you know, I know what I was doing. I looked like a loser douchebag, but I tried my hardest. The next day I decided to do the same thing, but I changed up the colors. So I walked up, got in line, it was hot, I was sweating. So that paint was starting to drip. When I got up to the Usos, they were like, oh my God, that's awesome. And before that, one of them had followed me on Instagram, and so did Naomi. So they kind of had an idea of who I was. They just knew I was like that kid that likes to lift weights and stuff, so that's enough for me. But I met them and they were talking about lifting and stuff. I was like, oh my God, they actually know who I am. Oh God, I'm famous! And then I asked them if I could hold one of the tag team titles. They were like, yeah. I was like, oh snap, who's in the cool club? Me! As a 14-year-old, that was a cool moment. I'm pretty sure once I walked off and I was starting to walk out the store and I saw the paint on my face that was slowly starting to drip because the sweat kind of spread in my lats, and I was kind of walking like this, like, yeah, I know I'm cool. And the time after that was actually at WrestleMania Access this year. And now both of them, I believe, follow me on Instagram. If not, I don't know. I think they both follow me. Maybe Jimmy doesn't. I walked up to them again and they remember me. I was like, oh my God, again, I'm back in the cool club. I'm stunned. And they remember about lifting and all that kind of stuff. And now they actually follow me on Twitter, which I think they did the time when I met them when I was 14. But still, they followed me on Twitter. In your face, jerks. That's why they'll forever be my favorite tag team. And Rybaxel, they are great. Number 2 is Ron Simmons. So Ron Simmons, I met this man twice within like a 3-year age gap. First time was like 2012 or something like that. It was up in a PWS show in New Jersey. If you're not from New Jersey, that's Pro Wrestling Syndicate. And it was like him, it was Shelton Benjamin, it was Dusty Rhodes, which I didn't meet, and I felt so bad I literally walked past him so I could go meet Shelton Benjamin. Oh my God, I feel bad about that. I met Ron Simmons, I was so nervous and stuff. He was talking to me about playing football, which I was like, I don't play football. I like wrestling and popcorn and chips. He signed one of the pictures I had. It was just such a good experience. And then the next time I met him was actually at the same show what I talked about earlier with Maria. And then he remembered me, a 3-year age gap, and that was in Maryland. I met him in New Jersey. Just different states. Did I tell you I got an A in geography? He remembered me. He was talking about lifting and stuff, and he asked me if I was playing football, and I was like, no, I'm wrestling. He asked me why am I not playing football. I was like, I don't want to. He told me to keep my grades up and stuff, and I was like, hey, I don't need to. I got straight A's. I can't go further up. So inspirational, especially for me being a brother. First black African American. That's the same thing. First African American world champion in professional wrestling. And number 1 has to be John Cena. John Cena is my favorite wrestler of all time. I think I made that clear enough. I met him at Wizard World Philadelphia in 2014 and 2015. I remember staying in line. I was like, oh my God, that's John Cena. Oh my God, that's John Cena. I was in line. I was like, oh my God, that's John Cena! And I walked up to him, I was like, wait, you're not that tall. He's only 6'1". We're like almost on the same level, that's cool. I went in for a good manly handshake, and as I reached out and I grabbed his hand, I was like, oh my God, that hurts! Let go! This man was choking my hand, I was like, dude, I'm not a dumbbell. Then I took a picture with him, and I was doing this and stuff, and he did that, and it was like, oh my God, it's John Cena! And I was getting something signed, and I think I showed that to you guys on the Q&A, so I'm not gonna show you again. This is how good of a person I am. I haven't heard from her in a minute, but my friend at the time, she was very obsessed with Total Divas and stuff. Like, oh my God, Nikki and John, oh my God! She didn't talk like that, I'm just making a voice. When I told her I was going to meet John Cena, it was like, get him to say hi to me. So I did.
Oh, son?
Yeah.
Alexis, how you doing? You can't see me.
I met my hero, and I'm getting him to say hi to you. I haven't heard from her. It's been like 2 years now. I could have been talking to him. I could have got a shout out from a YouTube channel or something, but I got him to say hi to you. After I was done, I texted to her. I was like, boom. There you go. I'm a good person. Then I thought about it. I was like, did I really waste an opportunity to meet John Cena and get him to say hi to someone else that wasn't even there? I paid admission. But the following year at Wizard World 2015, I met him again. As I walked up to him again, I was like, oh my God, it's John Cena! Waiting for that good handshake one more time. Stop squeezing my hand to test my pulse is there. I mean, it took a second to come back once you let go. That's more than firm. You're just trying to kill me. I did this again. I think you say you like my hair or something. I was like, I don't even know what you said, but you're John Cena. And then I got in line to get an autograph by Mr. Cena himself. And of course, naturally, I brought the Fruity Pebbles box because I wanted to stand out. Gave that box to him. He looked at it, he smiled because he realized I was creative. And I was telling him about lifting. I was like, dude, you are the reason I like to lift stuff off the ground and put them back down. Then I was telling him about powerlifting and all the ranks and stuff I am in the world and all that kind of crap. I'm not trying to go into achievements. I'm talking about wrestling. And then he just seemed so amazed and surprised. I was like, yeah, John Cena know me now. In my mind, I was really hoping he was gonna say, oh yeah, come to this gym at this time we can live together. It didn't happen, but I was really hoping he was gonna say that. But you know, it's John Cena. I was on my way home back to DC. I was asleep in the car in the middle of I don't know where in Delaware. I wake up and look at my phone. I'm like, okay, you know, people tweeting me. I'm famous like that. Guess who I got a DM from? Yeah, Bob Backlund. I mean, John Cena. I'm not gonna show it because it's between me and the man you can't see. This is kind of how my reaction was in the car. When someone's driving, you do not scream. Look at my phone. I was like, ah, John Cena. She's like, whoa, what happened? I was like, John Cena DM'd me. So I can't repeat the things she said back to me. because I would have to bleep out a lot of stuff. I was like, look, it's John Cena! I'm driving on the highway! Pull over, it's John Cena! And guess who followed me on Twitter? That's right, Kurt Hawkins! I mean John Cena! Double check a couple times, I was like, this is a fake account, you're messing with my emotions, I'ma block you. I almost blocked John Cena. Imagine that! Me blocking John Cena. I'm not Kevin Owens. He followed me on Twitter, he DM'd me and said some stuff I don't need to say to you guys because that's between me and John Cena. If you got through this entire video, leave down in the comments 1, the nicest wrestler you ever met, and 2, come quiet. I just want to test this out. Who's actually watching to the end? Thank you guys for watching the video. If you really enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, share, and always subscribe. And we outie.